Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Yeah, the old clock says it's 5 o'clock. Beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Karbach Brewing. This is their Hellfighter Bourbon Barrel Aged number 9, which was released in December of 2017. Untapped has this particular version listed. Beer Advocate does not. They clump them all together like a bunch of dumbasses. This is a 11.5% ABV. And like I said, Beer Advocate just throws them all together. And now they have different versions with espresso and certain ones, but they don't do release number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9. And this particular one was sent to me by Brandon C. down in Texas, where Karbach is at. And he taped a little thing on the side, said this is release number 9, Bourbon Barrel Aged Hellfighter. And it was aged 33% in Heaven Hill barrels, 34% in Woodford Reserve barrels, and 33% Jack Daniel barrels. ABV is 11.5%, and like I told you, it was released in December of 2017, and this is February of 2018. So they don't differentiate it, and they don't have different releases on Beer Advocate. So we're gonna throw them to the side. If they can't do, because the different beers from these guys, the different batch numbers or different barrels and different numbers, and they choose not to put that information out. So on this particular beer, Beer Advocate sucks. So I'd much rather go to Untapped, where they have this particular beer listed and not clumping all the BBHs together. So we're going to have their rating and my rating, and Beer Advocate is off in left field somewhere with their thumb up their butt. As far as I'm concerned, I'd much go, and I agree more with what Untapped guys say about the beers than I do Beer Advocate. We don't use rate beer anymore anyway, since they were bought out and they're sucking hind titty somewhere. So with that being said, 11.5% bourbon barrel aged in 3 separate different barrels. I guess they blend those together before they bottle it in here. Let me get to, and when I get beers from Brandon C., he always puts these electrical tape on the cap to help keep it from spilling or doing anything crazy during the shipping process. And most of the time I try to get this off before I come on camera, but I neglected to do that on this particular one. So we got that off now, and I will set that up. And is there anything else we need to say about this beer? Untapped says aged in the different barrels. It's the only thing they say, and I've already read that to you guys. So I guess that's it. 11.5%. We don't have the IBUs. We know it was released in December of 2017, and this is February, so it's been in the bottle 2 months. So it's time. Final beer of the evening for me. Cheers, and a big thanks to Brandon C. for sending me this beer. Big hiss for an 11.5%er. Wow, that had a hiss on a beer that's been aged for several years of this magnitude on an ABV. So big time hiss. I was very surprised at that. Alright, into the glass we go, guys, and I will tell you why I'm pouring this, and I'm going to go down the center on this one. Cuisine is barbecue, cheese, and buttery brie, good Havarti Swiss. General chocolate, dessert. Meat is beef, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat. Glassware to pint, backer, nonic, tumbler mug style Sidel. I'm using my favorite tulip glass. And it says here not recommended for extended cellarings unless the ABV extends average range. Well, alright guys, there's an 11.5% ABV extend average range. Duh. I think so. But like I said, beer advocates sometimes have their head up their ass. So a lot of times I won't even look at what they have to say. If they don't even have the beer listed, and a lot of times if it's 8%er, they say you can sell her and it's an IPA or a double IPA. So they need to get their shit together. Yeah, they do. All right, about 1/8 a finger of head on that pour. Not a whole lot of light through the glass here. Looks very much like an Imperial Stout, guys. Let's get it to the nose. Definitely getting some bourbon notes from all three of those different barrels they've aged it in. Rich roasted malt, hints of some black molasses, caramel, toffee. Smells absolutely outstanding, guys. It really, really does. Awesome aroma on this. I mean, it's not overpowering everything else as far as I can tell now. But I do love the smell. When this has bourbon barrel aged, and especially it's been done in 3 separate different bourbon barrels, to be able to smell that and not be so subdued that I'm not even getting any hints of it like a lot of breweries do. They leave it in a barrel a month or two, or a barrel that's already had beer in it before. And I didn't pay for this beer. Brandon C. down in Texas did. I'm sure it's not a cheap bottle of beer to buy. But when this has all that information that, you know, barrel aged in bourbon barrels and 3 different barrels, and this, I want to be able to smell that and I want to be able to taste that. When it's really subdued and I don't get any of those characteristics, I think I've been ripped off. Of course, like I said, I didn't pay for this beer. Brandon C. did down in Texas. Brandon, thank you, sir. I do appreciate it, my brother. It's got a wonderful aroma. Definitely getting the bourbon notes. Wow. Smells outstanding. Like I said, final beer of the evening for me. Let's dive in and see what we got. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Brandon. Do appreciate it, sir. Oh. Oh, that's so nice. Definitely getting the bourbon barrel aged notes, especially from 3 separate barrels and then they blended together. Wow. And I will tell you before we go any further, like I said, Beer Advocate didn't have this particular beer listed because it was just released in December of 2017. This is just February of 2018. So they didn't have this particular beer listed. They had the bourbon barrel aged version, which was a 10.8% or something, where this one's a little bit bigger. Untapped does have it listed, but I don't think a lot of people have commented on it. The reason I say that is because when I look at their site here, they have the ABV listed, no IBU listed, and they don't have a grade. Very unusual for these guys to not have a grade on something. But this one's only been out 2 months, month and a half maybe. I don't know when in December of 2017 they actually bottled it. Whether it was the first part, middle part, or the end of the December. So they don't have a grade here, and I don't know if they have to require a certain amount of people to comment on it and give a grade on it before they actually publish that, like Beer Advocate and Rate Beer used to do. Now that Beer Advocate has changed their grading, even if only one person has commented, they usually have a grading on it. But they don't even have this one listed, so a lot of times you run into that, and a lot of times I meet him out these sites for not having a grade or having it listed, and I probably shouldn't, but that's just me. It's just the old redneck country boy. Hey, I got the beer, how come you ain't got it listed? How come you ain't got a grade on it? Sometimes I jump the gun, and I probably shouldn't say things that I do, but I do. I'm off the cuff, guys. I don't edit these reviews, and I say what's on my mind at the time, and probably regret some of that later on down the road. So with that being said, maybe I should apologize to Beer Advocate since it's a brand new beer and they don't have it listed. But they are famous for clumping all these beers together just like they do Stone and Joy By all in one category when they've done 30 different versions of that beer. So with that being said, it is what it is, and I say what I say. So, and a lot of time, and most of the time, 100% of the times, I don't retract anything. So, it's off the cuff. That's what this beer review is. I don't go back and edit and change things or take things out or add things in. I say what I think when I review the beer. So, a lot of people like that, a lot of people don't. That's why I get so many thumbs up from the little girls club. With that being said, I find it very, very tasty. This would be a great candidate to go out on the deck and sip on it for a little bit and pour her the other half of this bottle and let her sip on it and see what we end up with, guys. Very impressive right now. So let's see what the final chug brings. Alright guys, I'm back. I got just a little up here. Didn't leave a lot of nice spacing on the glass. A lot of times you get that from a big Imperial Stout like this is, 11.5%. Very tasty. I love the bourbon notes that I'm getting from this beer. Rich roasted malt, hints of a little bit of bittersweet chocolate, big time bourbon notes on this beer, especially from 3 barrels that they've used on this as far as aging the beer. Very well done. I'm sure this wasn't a cheap beer to buy. So Brandon, I do appreciate it, sir, spending your hard unearned money on this beer. Very tasty beer. Very impressive beer. I enjoyed this beer. I would buy this beer if I could get my hands on it, guys. It's very impressive. I love it when it's bourbon barrel and you taste that bourbon barrel. It's not hidden or subdued or anything like that. It's big time on the nose and it's big time on the taste. Wow. Awesome. Final chug. Very well done. Exceptionally well done, guys. I'm very impressed with this beer. I was on the fence between a 9 and a 10. I can't think of any reason why I would not give this a good grade. I can't think of any reason to say, well, they need to do this or they need to do that to make this beer better. It's pretty impressive, especially with the 3 different barrels they've used on this and blended it together. Awesome beer, guys. Like I said, I'm on the fence between a 9 and a 10. But it is so impressive, so well done. I'm going to have to give it to 10. 3 10s in a row here, guys. I don't know if I've ever had that before. Pretty impressive. 100 for me, guys. I can't think of a single reason why I should not give this beer a 10. It drinks exceptionally tasty now, and this is a great candidate to cellar. There's no coffee being added to the beer. It's going to fade over time. Very easy drinking now, and probably going to be very easy drinking 2, 3, 5, 10 years down the road. Awesome beer. Brandon, this is a very, very tasty beer, you guys. At Karbach, and I know the Karbach's been bought out by some of the big guys, but evidently these guys are still having some control over what they're producing, what they're brewing, and they're not cutting costs, as far as I can tell, on these beers here, guys. So, very, very nice. Very, very nice. 10 for me, guys. 100. And like I said, over at the Beer Advocate, they don't even have a different versions of this beer listed, so they're off on this one. And over to Untapped has this listed, but they don't have any ratings on it, so I guess I'm by myself on this. I think it's a 10. I think it's a 100. It's awesome. I enjoyed this. Final beer of the evening for me, guys. Very tasty beer. If you can get this in your area, I don't know how far. Karbach goes out in their distributions now that they've been bought out. But you guys in Texas, this is a very tasty beer, very impressive beer. I would call this a special occasion beer, if you will. Because like I said, I don't think this is a very cheap bottle to buy. So I do appreciate Brandon C. down in Texas spending his hard-earned money on this and sending it to me. I loved it. And I would buy this beer if I could get it here. So, guys, if you had this one from Karbach Brewing down in Texas, this is a Bourbon Barrel Hellfighter, December 2017, release number 9. If you've had it, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.